ولادي وأبنائي سنة تانية إعدادي سكند بريب. إن شاء الله النهاردة هنبتدي نشتغل مع بعض الجزء الثاني من ليسون 1 يونت 2. هو درس ممتع جدا ولذيذ وليه علاقة بحياتنا وابليكيشن احنا اوريدي بنعيشها وتطبيقات بنعيشها في حياتنا. هنتكلم النهارده عن البروبرتيز اوف ساوند، صفات الصوت. احنا اوريدي درسنا فيرست property اوف ساوند الساوند بيتش. عرفنا ان الساوند بيتش property by which your ear can differ between sharp and harsh sound. النهارده هنتكلم على تاني property of sound اسمها sound intensity. Sound intensity means what's meant by sound intensity. Sound intensity is one of the sound property by which your ear can differentiate between sound which is strong or weak. We can differ between the sounds, strong or weak sound. So the sound intensity, it's a property, we can repeat it together. It's a property which your ear can differ or make a change or know the difference between the sound which is strong or weak. Strong, weak, strong, weak. But sound pitch, it was a property to differ between sharp and harsh sound. Like woman voice is sharp, man voice is harsh. But sound intensity property, you can differ between between strong and weak sound. First of all, the measuring unit of the sound intensity, it's watt per meter square. Watt referring to the scientist called Watt. Watt is the scientist who explained the measuring unit of the sound intensity. So the measuring unit of the sound intensity, watt per meter square. If you are going to get any speaker, you can know the quality of the speaker referring to the watt of the speaker. Again, the measuring unit of the sound intensity, watt per meter square. If the sound energy is high, so the sound is strong. But if the sound energy is low, your sound is weak sound. If the sound is very, very strong, very loud, the measuring unit will not be watt per meter square. The measuring unit is decibel. And this is referred for the scientist called decibel by the way. So the measuring unit for the sound intensity, watt per meter square. But if the sound intensity higher than normal, reaching certain number, we're not concerning about it. So the measuring unit in this case will be decibel. Again, measuring unit of the sound intensity, watt per meter square. But if the sound is noisy sound, very, very strong, the measuring unit is decibel. But we have to know that there are 5 factors affect on the sound intensity. There are 5 factors make your sound strong or weak. First factor effect on the sound intensity is distance between your ear and the source of sound, and this is logic. Why? If you are hearing for a song or something like this and you move away from the speaker, it's normal. The sound intensity will decrease. So the first factor, effect on the sound intensity, distance between your ear and the source of sound. When you move away from the source of sound intensity decrease. But if you go near or close to the source of sound, the sound intensity will be stronger. So there is inverse relation between the source of sound, between the intensity of the sound and the distance between your ear and the source of sound. Again, there is inversely proportional between the distance between your ear, the distance between your ear and source of sound, and sound intensity. This is a relation called inverse square law. Inverse square law, it is the sound intensity at a point is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the point and the sound source. Again, the first factor, effect on the sound intensity. Don't forget sound intensity is the property by which your ear can differ between strong and weak sound. The first factor effect is the distance between your ear and the source of sound, and we can explain in law called inverse square law. What's the inverse square law? The sound intensity at a point is inversely proportional to the square of the distance between that point and the sound source. So the relation is inversely. So the sound intensity inversely proportional to the distance square. Okay. So what happened? If the distance between the source of sound and your ear increase double, what will happen for the sound intensity? If the distance between your ear and source of sound increase double, what will happen? The sound intensity will, we said the distance increase double, so the sound intensity will decrease to the quarter. I said quarter. Why? Because the relation not inversely between the intensity and distance, it's the relation between intensity and the distance square. So if the distance increase double, power 2, so the sound intensity decrease to the quarter. Don't forget, this is a very important question. The second factor is amplitude. We already know the amplitude. Amplitude, one of the factors which affect on the sound intensity. But the relation here is directly proportional with the amplitude square. When the amplitude increase double, the sound intensity increase 4 times. Remember, here inversely proportional. But here the second factor, amplitude, have directly proportional with the sound intensity. Number 3, the third factor, surface area. Do you think by increasing the surface area, what will happen for the sound intensity? It's very logical. By increasing the surface area, the sound intensity will increase. For example, if we have a drum in this size and one is bigger, it's logic by increasing the surface area, the sound intensity will be increased. Or another example, we fix any stringed musical instrument on wooden box like violin, like guitar. Why? To increase the surface area. So by increasing the surface area, it's very logic that the sound intensity will increase. We can explain as the following tool. I'm going to let you see it. Okay. The third factor effect on the sound intensity, it's the surface area. Logic, by increasing the surface area, the sound intensity increase. For example, if we fix tuning fork on this wooden box, okay, the first case, it's very hard to listen to this sound. It's not very strong enough. But if we fix it on this box, the sound is louder and stronger. Why? Because we fix it on a wooden box, so the surface area increase. So give reason. If we fix tuning fork on a wooden box, the sound intensity increase because the surface area increase. Give reason. The stringed musical instrument like violin fix on wooden box, empty wooden box, to increase the surface area, and by increase surface area, sound intensity increase. Again, the first factor effect on the sound intensity, distance between your ear and the sound source, and the relation is inversely with distance squared. The second factor is amplitude. The third is surface area. Number 4, medium density. By increased medium density, sound intensity increase. How? For example, if you are speaking in a room, have normal air, fresh air, and another room full by carbon dioxide. Do you know the carbon dioxide have high density? So the sound intensity in carbon dioxide will be more in case of carbon dioxide more than normal air, because sound intensity have more density, and by increase the medium density, the sound intensity increase. We can explain it also by using this model, just a model. If we put a pill inside it or anything inside it, it's called vacuum pump, by the way. This device is called vacuum pump. And if we pump the air outside this device, we will recognize that the sound intensity decrease one by one, until all the air pump out. Why? Because by pumping the air outside, the medium density decrease and the sound intensity decrease. So don't forget, by decreasing the medium density, the sound intensity will decrease. So the relation, or so the sound intensity affected by the medium density. Don't forget your sound intensity. This is very important question. Your sound intensity in case of carbon dioxide more than your sound intensity in air, because carbon dioxide have more density. The fifth and the last factor effect on the sound intensity, wind direction. If we put a fan in the opposite direction of the sound direction, we recognize that the sound intensity will decrease. But if the fan in the same direction of the sound waves direction, we recognize that the sound intensity will increase. By different way, the wind direction, if the sound in the same direction of wind, the sound intensity will be stronger. But if in the opposite direction, the sound intensity will decrease. So we can explain now what's meant by sound intensity. One more. Sound intensity is the property by which your ear, don't forget, differ between strong and weak sounds. The measuring unit is watt per meter square. The measuring unit of the noisy sounds, which have very strong sound, noisy sound, is decibel. There are 5 factors affect on the sound intensity. Number 1, distance between your ear and sound source. Number 2, amplitude. Number 3, surface area. Number 4, medium density. The 5th one is wind direction. كده يبقى احنا تقريبا شرحنا ولمينا اهم اجزاء ممكن نتناولها في الساوند انتنسيتي. طبعا المره الجايه باذن الله هنتكلم على الساوند كواليتي. اتمنى ان احنا نكون فعلا استفدنا وفي قدر استفاده وقدرت اوصل المعلومه بشكل بسيط. ربنا يوفقكم واشكركم على متابعتكم.